This is Cheapside Street, and 50 years ago today this was the scene of what remains Britain's worst peacetime fire disaster. 19 men were killed when the whiskey bond which once stood here exploded. And today their relatives, survivors, city leaders and firemen will gather to remember them. At Glasgow's necropolis, wreaths were laid for the 14 firemen and 5 members of Glasgow's Salvage Corps who died when the walls of the building blew out, showering them with rubble. Chief Officer of Strathclyde Fire and Rescue, Brian Sweeney, led the tributes.
There were 6 bravery awards that were issued, including uniquely 2 George medals, one of whom is here today, Jim Dunlop. He managed to hand wind down a turntable ladder whilst the ladder was on fire, the vehicle was on fire, and whiskey barrels were exploding around him. So with no thought for his own life, he rescued his colleague.
The shock of the explosion, the realisation that all my workmates were killed under the falling walls of the building. That's the first impression, that was the main thing. I feel the loss of many good friends and mates more severe now than ever. Like everyone else that night, the main thing to do was to put the fire out, and I think everybody else, we all rallied round to that fact. That was our job to do that, and it was done.
But of course many families across the city were woken to the news that their loved ones had been killed.
It was terrible. We were very shocked actually, you know. A fireman that I knew came to the door, and when I opened the door actually I said, "It's Edward, isn't it?" He says, "Yes." He says, "I'm sorry to bring me that news, you know." And then I had to go to Mum and Dad and let them know I lost a good brother.
More than 600 people later attended a service at Glasgow Cathedral. A guard of honour later marched into George Square for 2 minutes silence. A memorial plaque which will be installed at Cheapside Street was unveiled as a lasting tribute to those who made the ultimate sacrifice.